First and foremost, before we head over to the tutorial, we are actually making use of trading view. I'm doing this because I've gotten a whole lot of messages. So we are making use of trading view. This is trading view, and you can download trading view from your app store. All right, whether you're using Android or iOS, just go on your app store and search for trading view. And secondly, if you want to add indicators on your chart, right? If you want to add indicators on your chart, you come down here, you see this icon here, tap that icon. When you check below, you see tools, indicators, compare, alert, and all bar replay. So you're clicking indicators. When you tap indicators, it will take you to this is where it will bring you. Yeah, indicators, metrics, and strategies, and all that. Right. So what you want to do is click here and search. So let's just use fair value gap as an example. Fair value. So as you can see, fair value gap by Lux Algo. So you tap it, it will appear on your chart. Then you can star it. As you can see, it is starred, meaning it's part of my favorite. It will show as part of my favorite. So you can star it. Now that's that. That's how to add indicators. Now, if you're using a free version of TradingView, which is what I'm also using, you can only have two indicators on your chart. But if you advance to the premium, or if you're using the premium, you can use more than two indicators. All right. So that is that. Okay, so this is a simple strategy for beginners. Okay, the simple strategy for beginners, and even advanced traders can also use it if you want, right? I've just decided to always look for ways to make our trading simple and easy, straightforward. Okay, so we all are conversant with fair value gaps, right? We are all conversant with fair value gaps. So we have indicators that can help you plot these fair value gaps so that you don't have to stress yourself and start looking for fair value gaps. If you don't understand what fair value gap means, I think probably maybe I'll make a video concerning fair value gap later. But you can go on Google and search fair value gap. What it means is very easy, it's very simple, straightforward. All right. So now this indicator helps you plot out sell side fair value gap and buy side fair value gap. This box you're seeing here, that is this red or red? Let me use the word red in color, is indicating a sell side fair value gap. And when we see a green one, let's scroll back. Let's see if we see a green one. Um, let's scroll back and see if we see a green fair value gap. But basically, let's see. Mm. But when you see a green fair value gap, you would know. Let me do this like this so that my tutorial will be complete. Let's search for buy side fair value gap, or let's just use another currency first. XAU has been on a upward trend for a very long time, so definitely we should see some buy side fair value gap. Okay, look at this is XAUSD, for example. And as you can see, you are seeing more of buy side fair value gaps, which are these green boxes you're seeing here, right? So that is one indicator you need, and you can get that through Lux Algo fair value gap. Now, the second indicator you need is this indicator that it indicates buy and sells signal. It gives buy and sell signals, right? Now, this badges, will I call it badges or boxes also, are also that they are buy and sell signals. And if you watch so far, it's most of the time it happens when it gives this badge, it sells. It gives the green badge, it buys. So one thing is, we don't take signals just because it gives a red and a green badge, which people can actually do that. But when you're using an indicator, it's not advisable you just use the indicator all by itself. You need to or a strategy. You don't just use one strategy. You use confirmations. You look for confirmations, confluences, and all that. So for this strategy, we are going to be using this indicator that shows us when to buy and sell, and we can use, let me open my indicator so you see pivot point, high, low, and missed reversal levels by Lux Algo also, right? So you just need to have two indicators. Lux Algo for fair value gaps, and that's buy and low, whatever, for this signal signs, right? So how does this strategy work? How it works is, you don't take it can work in two ways. First way is you using a trend line, because I don't like these things to be more too difficult. Using a trend line shows that gold is on an uptrend, right? This is a first strategy. So once you're using your trend line and you notice that price comes down towards, let's increase our screen. Price comes down towards a fair value gap. Price comes down towards a fair value gap and gives us the green badge. As you can see, the green badge is there, but it's not really visible because it's on a green fair value gap. You take a buy. So, but if you're not going to use this trend line, you can just use the fair value gap alone. So once price comes down, at least you've already known that this is on a uptrend. So you don't trade against the trend. You already know this is on an uptrend, right? You don't need anybody to tell you that this is on an uptrend. It's visible. It's visible. Look at now. Price has been going up, higher highs, higher low, higher highs. You see, it's going up. It's just clear that price has been on an uptrend. So you don't really need to now start mapping out your trend line. So what you just need to look out for is fair value gap. And since we have a fair value gap here, right, then you now wait for it to give you that badge of a signal, which is a buy signal, because we are looking for buys because we are on an uptrend. So once the buy badge appears, right, and it is on a fair value gap, as you can see, this one now indicates that it's on a fair value gap. Look at it, it's clear. Look at it here. You take a buy straight. So some people might say, okay, I don't want to wait for it to touch a fair value gap as long as I've indicated that it is on an uptrend, right? Number one. So any buy badge I see, I take a buy. It's still better. It's still better. So it's not as if there are not sell badges coming up or sell signals coming out on an uptrend, but you will notice that the sales are not long, they are just short sales. Okay, short sales. Look at this one now. Look at the top now. Look at the top. It gave us a sell, right? It gives us a sell. This is a 15 minutes time frame. So this sell can be okay for you as a scalper. It gives us a sell. It gave us a sell. But if you notice, price is already retracing back to where it gave us that sell. So it's not long. So, but when you check the buys are always longer than the sells. Look at now. Look at how many pips it gave us from here. Let's say we entered the signal here, the trade here, right? Look at now. This is how many pips do you get? Over 400 pips. So you should always look at taking a buy when the trend is on an uptrend, right? And you are seeing your buy side fair value gap. It's as simple as that. That is all you need. So let's see if we can see for other currencies to judge. I think BTC has been on a downtrend since. Okay, let's see. Okay, look at this now. BTC has been on a downtrend for a while, but on a 15 minutes time frame, it's looking like we are basically on an uptrend. But if you look at overall, BTC has been on a downtrend. But let's just still use this as okay. It's on a 15 minutes, it's showing us that we are on an uptrend. So let's use this as an example, our trend line, just to prove that we are on an uptrend, right? But like I said earlier, you don't need to know whether something is on an uptrend or not. No matter the time frame, you will just know based on looking at it, because it's showing here that we are on an uptrend on a 15 minutes time frame. So on a higher time frame might be basically on a downtrend, but on this 15 minutes time frame we are on an uptrend. So that's what we are looking at. This indicator or this strategy is used on a 15 minutes time frame. So based on this, we are on an uptrend. Whether BTC USD is on an overall downtrend has got nothing to do with us. But what we know is that on a 15 minutes time frame, we are on an uptrend. So what you want to do now is look for buys where you see a buy side fair value gap. And if you watch closely, look at it. When price came here, let's use this cycle as an example. When price came here, look at it. When it came here, it gave us the buy badge, right? I don't know if badge is the right word to use. It gave us the buy badge, and it's also on a fair value gap, sweet on a fair value gap, and even on a demand zone self. So although demand zones are not part of this, but if you want to add a demand zone, no problem. But it's fair value gap and this indicator. So imagine immediately it touched the fair value gap, it gave us that buy badge or that buy signal. And imagine you have entered from here. We use, since it's BTC USD, we are going to use like, let's say 30 pips stop loss. So we use like a 30 pips stop loss. So how many pips did we get here? We got over 400 pips if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, 400 pips if I'm not mistaken. So you see, it is like, nothing is 100% accurate, but this is something that would help you as a beginner and even as an advanced trader, because I've been using it also to spot out entries and give signals, and it has been going perfectly well. So just stick to it. Make sure there's a fair value gap, and make sure that it's on an uptrend or a downtrend. You can detect a trend from how, just looking at the chart alone itself, you will know that okay, price is on an uptrend on a 15 minutes time frame, right? uh So then you now look for a buy opportunity when it's at a fair value gap, and also the buy side, the buy signal, which is that badge, appears. All right. So it's as simple as that. So what are the indicators? You need a fair value gap by Lux algo, number one, and number two, you need a pivot point, high low missed reversal level by Lux algo also. You might ask, but from your own chart here, I'm seeing DIY custom strategy builder. So why I'm using that DIY custom strategy builder is because it gives me the opportunity. It has more than one indicator in it. So if you want to use it, you can use it, but it may be confusing to you. Although I have a video like on this on YouTube that teaches you how to use this DIY custom strategy builder. Why I use it is because this, if you notice now, this DIY strategy builder is giving me the opportunity. Let me close this pivot point high and low. You see this DIY strategy builder now, with one indicator I can have demand and supply on my chart. I can have pivot points on my chart, which is what you are seeing here. This is demand and supply here. This is demand and supply here. So this is also pivot points here. I can have pivot points on my, that's two indicator. I can also have fair value gap, which is three indicator. So you can have more than one indicator on this DIY strategy builder. So it gives you the opportunity to make use of more than one indicator on your chart. So, but you might be difficult for you to understand. That's why I'm just sending you straight to just download fair value gap by Lux Algo, so as you don't stress yourself trying to set it. Download Lux Fair Value Gap by Lux Algo, and also download this second indicator. So that's that, guys. Thank you very much. It's as simple as that. If you have questions, you can drop